Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, members of the media, bienvenue and welcome to the second annual Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani International Anti-Corruption Excellence Awards. My name is Nina Havel, and if you allow me, I'll be your Master of Ceremonies for today. But before we announce the winners, it is my great honor and pleasure to welcome His Highness Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani, the special representative of the Emir of the State of Qatar, and His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And then, of course, their Excellencies, the Excellency Mr. Michael Müller, the Director General of the United Nations Office at Geneva, and His Excellency UNODC Executive Director Mr. Yuri Fedotov, and last but certainly not least, our dear host, His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Fatais Al Mari, the UNODC Regional Special Advocate for the Prevention of Corruption. Assalamu alaikum and bonjour and welcome, and thank you very much for this beautiful event. We just wait for another minute to let them come in, and then I introduce them again. So it was just a test if I know how to say the names in an appropriate manner. So, welcome. It's a great honor. His Highness Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani, the special representative of the Emir of the State of Qatar. His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. His Excellency Michael Müller, the Director General of the United Nations Offices at Geneva. His Excellency UNODC Executive Director Mr. Yuri Fedotov. And last but not least, our dear host, Dr. Ali bin Fatais Al Mari, the UNODC Regional Special Advocate for the Prevention of Corruption. Assalamu alaikum, bonjour, and thank you very much for this beautiful event. Thank you. Welcome. beautiful opening. So, His Highness and Your Excellencies, we are honored to welcome you once more to the second annual International Anti-Corruption Excellence Award. And yes, before our event started, His Highness and His Excellencies attended a special unveiling of a statue by the renowned and sculptor and artist Ahmed Al-Bahrani, who is with us here today too. So welcome. And the carving is 5 meters tall and was designed in the form of an open hand to symbolize the global fight against corruption. And you may recognize this hand also in our awards. So here you can see this unveiling ceremony in a short film. That was it. That was right now, half an hour ago, so a very short moment kept in a short film. And ladies and gentlemen, let me now, at this time, ask you to give an eager welcome to our host, His Excellency, Dr. Ali bin Fatais Al-Mari. Because Dr. Al-Mari will be sharing some opening words with us. So please, the stage is yours. And thank you very much for this event. Once more, a big hand for Dr. Al-Mari.
Votre Altesse, les représentants de l'émir de l'État du Qatar, Cheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, j'ai le plaisir de vous souhaiter le bienvenu et vous remercie d'avoir fait ce voyage pour partager cet événement. Permettez-moi de vous parler en français, car nous ne sommes pas très loin du château de Voltaire. Chacun connaît son rôle pour la langue française. Et pourquoi pas? Parce qu'il est ici le poète de la Révolution française. Il est un inspirateur du peuple. Quand nous avons cherché où placer les prix cette année, nous étions à la recherche d'un fil qui croit à la lutte contre la corruption. Un fil qui croit aux droits de l'homme, un fil qui croit à la naturalité positive, un fil qui accueille les étrangers, les bras ouverts, un fil qui ne connaît pas le racisme et protéger les faibles. Il s'agit de la file de Genève qui mérite le plus grand respect pour son rôle dans l'histoire de la Croix-Rouge. Il s'agit d'une belle histoire. Quand l'homme d'affaires suisse Jean-Henri Dounet a été en voyage d'affaires en Italie en 1859 et arrivé à Solferino, il découvre l'horreur d'une bataille entre l'armée autrichienne et l'armée française, avec plus de 40 000 morts et blessés. Et avec l'aide de la village voisin, il en suivit quelques-uns. À son retour à Genève, M. Jean-Henri Dounet forme un comité de soutien. avec l'aide du président de la Société de Genève, Gustave Monet. Il forme le comité de Genève pour aider les blessés de guerre. Ce comité devient plus tard le comité international de la Croix-Rouge. Pourquoi cette fille qui porte toutes ces qualités mérite d'être le siège de près pour les luttes contre la corruption. Votre Altesse Cheikh Jassim Ben Hamad Al Thani. À l'occasion de cet événement, j'ai l'honneur de déclarer Genève comme le siège permanent d'auprès de son Altesse Cheikh Tamim Ben Hamad Al Thani pour les luttes contre la corruption en coopération avec les Nations Unies. Je vous remercie tous pour votre présence et féliciter les gagnants de cette année et souhaiter que ce prix, c'est un nouveau départ pour les luttes contre la corruption. Et merci à tous.
Thank you very much, Dr. Al-Mari, for this inspiring words, for a short review of our Swiss history and with its sad consequences, and of course with the inspiring words about the corruption. So, ladies and gentlemen, now it's my honor to welcome to the stage the Director General of the UNOG. Please welcome Mr. Michael Müller.
Your Highness, Mr. Minister, Dr. Al-Mari, Mr. Fedotov, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege and a pleasure to welcome you to the Palais des Nations on the occasion of the International Anti-Corruption Excellence Award. Let me start by thanking His Highness Al Thani and the government of Qatar for their support in bringing this award ceremony to Geneva. Many of you just saw and may have seen it outside already, the statue on the Place des Nations, which was unveiled earlier this morning, to shine a light on a challenge as old as society itself, corruption. Corruption is insidious. It can occur everywhere, at every level. No country is immune from it. Attacking the foundation of democracy, corruption is a barrier to reaching the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development that we have agreed is the road forward. Reducing corruption is but one of its 169 targets outlined in its 17 Sustainable Development Goals, but its effects are detrimental to all 17 goals and all the other 168 indicators. And corruption can strike anywhere, but it hits the poor, the weak, and the most vulnerable hardest. It enables a few to prosper at the expense of the many millions who are left behind. It can, for example, deny people access to health, schools, and economic opportunities. It can impose labor conditions at the place of work which are far from the standards adopted by our governments at the International Labour Organization here in Geneva. It can deny hope of a better future and rob the people's trust in the state and its institutions. And where trust is broken, cynicism thrives. Governments, the business and financial communities, and civil society alike must take a collective stand. And to achieve an equal, inclusive, and more prosperous future for all of us must foster a culture of integrity, transparency, and accountability. Some of us may falter, but what we are celebrating today is the triumph of those who have not only said no to corruption, but who have found innovative ways to combat it. Hailing from different corners of the world, the laureates of today's awards have displayed courage, vision, and creativity in their anti-corruption projects. The magnitude and the pervasiveness of corruption require all of us to work together to leverage the creativity and courage of the laureates to greater scale. In light of this demand for collaboration and scale, I think it is very fitting that we meet in Geneva, home to a unique ecosystem of more than 100 international organizations, hundreds of NGOs, a very dynamic private sector, and world-class academic institutions. International Geneva facilitates the exchange of ideas and fosters the creation of powerful alliances in our collective battle against corruption. We have set ourselves a goal to transform the world within the span of a single generation through the 2030 Agenda. In the 21st century, corruption simply has no place. Today's awards are part of our journey to create this world. Tomorrow we will mark the International Day of Anti-Corruption, which every year highlights the importance of fighting corruption and reminds us of the long journey we still have ahead of us. And let me, therefore, once again warmly congratulate today's recipients of the Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani Anti-Corruption Excellence Award, and thank all of you for being with us here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Möller, and we go this long journey together. Thank you very much. And now, please give a warm welcome to the Executive Director of the UNODC, Mr. Yuri Fedotov, who will also come and say a few words. Welcome. Big round of applause. Stage is yours.
Indeed, I'm representing here today UN Office on Drugs and Crime, which is a guardian of the UN Convention Against Corruption, universal instrument of international law, and that's why my intervention will be short, but a little bit longer than previous statements. I apologize for that. But first of all, I would like to welcome His Highness Sheikh Jassim bin Khalid Al Thani at this ceremony. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First, I have to congratulate once again the initiative of His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, Emir of the State of Qatar, in establishing the Anti-Corruption Excellence Awards. Now, in their second year, these awards offer an excellent platform for celebrating the bravery and courageousness of all those who stand against corruption. The UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, recognizes the destructive impact of corruption and the need for greater transparency, accountability, and good governance. My thanks to Dr. El Mari, Attorney General of the State of Qatar and UNODC Regional Special Advocate for the Prevention of Corruption, for his continuous support, including the work undertaken to fulfill the commitment of the Doha Declaration and as a program which promotes justice everywhere. Tomorrow is International Anti-Corruption Day, so today's event offers an excellent opportunity to concentrate minds all over the world on corruption's dreadful impact and how it can be combated. There is a desperate need. It is estimated that $2.6 trillion are lost each year due to corruption. 2.6 trillion. It means 5% of the global GDP. We live in a world where every dollar counts, particularly when these funds are directed towards the poorest, more fragile and vulnerable people in societies and communities. Unlike the victims of other crimes, corruption's victims are not always so obvious. Indeed, they might not even be aware that corruption is a root cause of their unhappiness, lack of opportunities or services. Just a couple of examples. The young girl denied the opportunity to progress due to the fact that the funds allocated to build a school in their communities have been misappropriated, or the desperately ill woman denied a life-saving operation because of the absence of a hospital, or the willing worker prevented from traveling just across the river for a better paid job because a bridge was never built. Like a powerful tsunami, corruption's effect spills out into vulnerable societies, harming peoples and communities. Corruption is a great facilitator of other crimes. It enables virtually every form of transnational organized crime, from drug trafficking to human trafficking, wildlife crime and forest crime, migrant smuggling. 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development recognizes that fighting corruption is tied to the overall efforts to improve education, lift people out of poverty, deliver economic growth, and ring-fence natural resources. Substantial reductions in corruption, returning stolen assets, and severing the flows of illicit finances are all targeted under Goal 16 of the Sustainable Development Agenda. Fortunately, we have solid legal tools to combat corruption and bribery. Chief among those is the UN Convention Against Corruption, the sole legally binding global and near universal instruments. Last month, the 7th session of the Conference of State Parties of this convention was held in Vienna. The session provided a strong link between the work done to bolster the full implementation of the convention by states and our own work in the field. And UNODC's activities include supporting countries to fulfill their obligations under the convention, in particular the groundbreaking peer review mechanism, working with procurement and custom agencies on risk mitigation strategies, promoting global justice, integrity, and education for justice networks under the DOA program, leading anti-corruption work of the International Consortium to Combat Wildlife and Forest Crime, strengthening partnerships with international sporting organizations to prevent corruption in sports, and fighting corruption that helps to finance terrorism and violent extremism, among others. We are not there yet. We must empower Goal 17 of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, creating stronger partnerships against corruption. That includes improving education and youth engagement for enhanced integrity, transparency, and accountability in public affairs, and close cooperation with the private sector. We need to be creative and innovative in maintaining corruption at the top of the domestic and international agendas so that we promote a deep and genuine intolerance to this crime, like this hand. And we need anti-corruption champions to come forward and to make their voices heard. I wholeheartedly endorse the Lifetime Achievement category of the award, which can further encourage the fight against corruption. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, allow me to quote the Secretary General from a recent statement he made against corruption. Global leaders of all kinds, government, corporate, religious, cultural, must lead by example and prove themselves trustworthy to restore people's faith in their own institutions and governments. I once again thank the Emir of the State of Qatar for his leadership, delivered through the support of this award ceremony, and I congratulate the recipients. Your courage and bravery has revealed a path that the world must strive to follow. I thank you.
We thank you, Mr. Fedotov, and you don't have to apologize. It was a very important speech to have. And with you, I would also like to thank all of our speakers for their words of wisdom, and which will serve as encouragement for us all. So thank you very much. And now we have come to the moment we have been all waiting for, namely to the announcement of the winners of the International Anti-Corruption Excellence Awards. Your Highness and Your Excellencies Möller and Fedotov, please join me, and of course Dr. Almari, please join me for the big announcement of the winners to help me on stage. So it's His Highness Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani, Mr. Müller, and Mr. Fedotov, and Dr. Al-Mari. Thank you very much. So let's move. Yes? Yeah, but okay. And of course, I would like to ask you also, His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani, to join us on stage. Give him a big hand. Thank you very much. That was actually my plan. I wanted to have you all here, but then I wasn't sure about the size of the stage. So but I feel glad to have this support in my back. So let's move on to the first category. So corruption can be achieved through a variety of means, and one of them is through research and education. Only by learning and studying the reasons and factors that create and propagate corruption will corruption be fought in a more effective and efficient manner. So keeping this in mind, we are pleased to present in the International Anti-Corruption Excellence Award in this category, namely Anti-Corruption Academic Research and Education, two winners. Firstly, to Professor Zumei Wang of the People's Republic of China. Welcome. Who was played, please join me on the left side of the stage, who was played a pivotal role in creating, directing, and promoting anti-corruption practices and protocols in her role, both as an academic and government advocate. She was the first person in China to get a doctorate in international criminal law, was the first to create a cooperation between Chinese university and the UN focusing on anti-corruption, and is recognized here today for her strong research background and applied experience. Congratulations, Professor Wang, and this is your award. His Highness congratulates you personally. What an honor. Professor Wang, how does it feel to be the first one to get the award of His Highness personally?
I think this is the big day for me, and I feel very, very honored to get this award. And I'm so excited. And I also feel it's encouragement and a duty for me to raise the awareness and spread the knowledge and the research in the field of anti-corruption in the future. And I also would love to express my sincerest gratitude to the board, to all of you for your support. Thank you very, very much.
And we thank you, Professor Wang. Thank you very much. And our second award in this category is presented to Professor Thomas H. Speedy Rice from the USA, who has made significant contributions to the growth of knowledge in anti-corruption through education-related work. He has been actively engaged in the educational efforts of the UNCAC through the ACAD initiative of the UNODC, and been a principal coordinator of educational workshops in numerous countries, almost all over the world. Unfortunately, Professor Rice cannot be here today with us, but we can hand the award over to a student of his from Geneva. So it's a pleasure for me to announce you here today. Miss Lee, welcome. Step forward, and you can go directly to get the award. Thank you very much for the favor you are doing for, I'm sure, an amazing professor. Thank you very much. Miss Lee. So we come to the second category. The fight against corruption is not only something that we must do in the present, but of course also in the future. So it is therefore important to involve also the younger generations in the fight against corruption, be it teenage youth or university students or younger professionals. So this category seeks to recognize and encourage those projects designed and led by or for young peoples. So, our recipient of the award in this category, Anti-Corruption Youth Creativity and Engagement, epitomizes battling corruption from the roots. I'm talking about SPAC, I Am a Woman Against Corruption, an Indonesian anti-corruption movement. Acting as a positive platform for enabling changes in perception and practices, the movement focuses on promoting anti-corruption through a family-based approach, training now more than 1,300 agents to strengthen and raise public awareness. Congratulations to Ms. Yuyu Andriati and Ms. Yudi Cristantini. You can grab your awards from His Highness personally. What an honor. And of course, you get your diploma from His Excellency. How do you feel? You look amazing. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm indeed honored to be here to receive this award. We thank you to all of agents of SPAC in 34 provinces in Indonesia who continue stand up and say, I am woman against corruption.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry. Thank you very much for the award. We are very extremely happy and proud, and I do believe this award will be like a spirit booster for our movement and keep moving with the movement and go for a common and humble goals to educate our families so we are less accepting corruption in future generation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your work. And this is your applause. Thank you very much. So now we do not only need the will and the engagement sector of people and organizations, but it also requires the tools to be able to combat corruption. And the anti-corruption innovation category looks to reward those who have created and developed the necessary tools to help in the fight against corruption. This includes the development, use of innovation solutions and approaches to anti-corruption action and the raise of awareness, as we have heard. So the award of the third category, anti-corruption innovation, goes to, congratulations, I Paid a Bribe from India. That is now the largest crowdsourced anti-corruption platform in the world. Congratulations to Mr. Rajit Shaji and Mr. Negaswara Rao. This is your award. Thank you, His Highness. Thank you, Mr. Fedotov. Please come to me. How do you feel? You look happy.
Yeah, we are very happy and extremely honored. We at Janaagra are extremely honored to receive such a special award, and also very grateful to everyone involved to get us this award. Thank you everyone.
We thank you. What would you like to add? It's your special moment here.
Yeah, I would like to add some more words. Good evening to gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's an honor to be receiving such an important award. We have faced so many challenges on the way here, but each one of them we have taken as a strength to make our organization as we are now. A special thanks to the, I would like sincerely thank to each one of you, especially to the jury and the supporters, to make us to reach a stage where we can proudly hold up our award. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You don't have to thank us, we have to thank you. And this is your applause. Thank you very much for you too. Our last award of today is the Anti-Corruption Lifetime Achievement Award. Out there are people who have dedicated their whole life to the fight against corruption. So this category seeks to give those people the recognition and support they deserve for their outstanding capacity. We are very glad to present this award also to two highly deserving recipients. Benvenuto ed auguri a Gerardo Colombo. Professor Gerardo Colombo from Italy, who has for more than 40 years dedicated his life to anti-corruption, both as a magistrate opposing corruption and white-collar crimes, then as an educator for young people, teaching to respect the law and rules, to protect the rights and the dignity of the people, as well as instilling personal responsibility. Of course, you have to be congratulated, you have to enjoy this moment. This is Professor Colombo. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So how do you feel? I mean, you have to say a lot. It's your Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, so I'm
Where do I have to
obviously
start?
very honored, and I am so happy. And I'm just moved for this so important award. And I hope that the spirit of this award will support and will encourage everyone that everywhere is trying to uproot corruption in the world. Thank you so much.
You are encouraging us. We thank you, Professor Colombo. Thank you. And as I said, we have a second award in this category. And secondly, the award goes to Professor Muhyiddin Tuk. Welcome and congratulations to the former Jordanian ambassador to the EU and the former minister. Please take your award. Dr. Tuk has devoted his professional career to politics, diplomacy, and governance matters. His legacy will be remembered for his role in chairing the ad hoc committee, for him really important, for the negotiation of UNCAC that led to its ratification by 183 countries. The UNCAC is the only comprehensive globally binding anti-corruption convention, and its robust review of implementation mechanism now covers all state parties to the convention. The UNCAC implementation is a benchmark to government's commitment to fight corruption. So, Professor Tuk, this is your award. How do you feel? What words would you like to share with us?
Well, I'm, of course, honored and very delighted to receive this prestigious award, the first of its kind. But I need to say something also.
Of course.
A colleague of mine asked me, what does this hand symbolize? I thought about it, looked carefully, and I said, well, it's open, it's transparent, it's strong, and it says no to corruption. I think these are the ingredients to have a good start, against corruption. Given the fact that corruption and fighting it is not an event, it is a life endeavor. And this is why I don't view this prestigious award as the culmination of an end rather than an impetus for a new beginning. Although Professor Colombo and myself are gray-haired, but we think that we can still do something, to fight corruption. And I hope this award will give us the drive to do it.
And that is also why you received the award. You really need this award. And as we have seen, you are really a funny person, so you haven't lost your sense of humor during your life, which is very nice. And I need your smile, actually, because now I would like to have a nice group photo with all of you. And that is why I would like to ask all the winners to come to the stage. And you have the great honor to get on a picture next to His Highness and His Excellencies. So please come all on stage with a big hand, of course, for all our winners of the ACE Awards 2017. So we have Professor Wang. We have Ms. Lee on behalf of Professor Thomas H. Speedy Rice. We have Ms. Yuyuk Andriati and Miss Judy Cristantini for Spock, I Am a Woman Against Corruption. We have Mr. Rajit Shaji and Mr. Negaswaro Rao for I Pay the Bribe. And we have, of course, Professor Gerardo Colombo, and lastly, Professor Mohideen Tak. These are our winners 2017. Are the photographers happy? Yes? So you can take your seats again, of course, with the support of our big applause. Thank you very much. These are our winners 2017. So you can take a seat again, of course, after enjoying this moment. But yes, go ahead. Even if you are in back, the winners can take a seat. And of course, I say also thank you. I extend our gratitude to His Highness Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani. Thank you very much. I extend our gratitude to His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani. I'm sorry. And then I extend our gratitude also to His Excellency Mr. Müller and Mr. Fedotov, and of course our dear host Dr. Al-Mari. Thank you very much, and please be seated, because as they are leaving now the council chamber, of course, with a big round of applause. It was a great honor. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Please give also our appreciation to all our esteemed guests here today, as well as the wonderful orchestra and odd musicians who have been providing us with beautiful music. And the orchestra is also now closing the afternoon's event with their final rendition. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the second International Anti-Corruption Excellence Award with our amazing winners 2017. Please stand up again, show you, and with this I say thank you and goodbye. Thank you.